to, hold on a second. Let's make a little bit more room here. That's better.
Oh boy.
Welcome to episode 11 of Photo Estate News with Pixologie. And in case you didn't figure it out from the boxes, we're moving. This will be our second move. The first one was easier. We moved from a short time period from a really beautiful space that just wasn't quite right for us into this space that we've been here for 6 years. Now, the problem with moving is it causes me great anxiety. I know it's a good thing. I know that it's going to help us clean up some little extra stuff that we've just sort of let build up around the edges. I know that it's a great move for better management of our photo estates, but it stresses me out terribly. Fortunately, Mollie's just downright excited. And that's wonderful. And it's really nice to have a partner that you can balance out some of these things with. But one of the things about our move that I don't have to be anxious with is probably one of the biggest concerns for most everyone else. And that's that whether it's personal or professional, all of our photos, all of our videos, all of our memorabilia has been safely cared for, because that's what we do. And that's a relief. So I don't have to worry about what happened to all of our videotapes. They got lost in the move. Not our problem. But when we're dealing with photo estates, moving is a big part of the issue world. Mollie's going to tell you a little bit more about what that's like in our world.
With photo estates, moving offers one of the best times to gather all those pictures and slides and videos, memorabilia to one spot. When you're moving, it can be chaotic. And whether it's a move from the first family home to a new house, or it's downsizing from the family home you've been in for decades to a condo, or in some cases, people are downsizing their parents from the home, maybe to go to a senior community. The reasons for moving are varied, but the tasks that have to be done are a lot similar. So with photo estates, we think if you're moving, this is a great time to gather all those pictures and the boxes and albums to one place. Put those items in a box and label them really well so that during the move, they will be transported and kept together. And in a bit, we'll talk about a tool that can help with the move. But really, your photo estate and the moves are a great time to put those two thoughts together, because the enormity of bringing all of the family memories together really keeps people from attacking their photos, their photo organization projects. So I know there's a lot going on with moves. I mean, we certainly are ticking off checklists and what has to go where. In a family move, the same things are happening, and you have to box all of that up. Well, let's do it in a system that maybe will result in your family memories being easily enjoyed, shared, and passed on as you go through the move and you land in your new home. So it's sometimes fun to see some of our clients that come in here who are in a transition period. In fact, one of the moves or the packing reasons could be because a family member, a parent, or an aunt or whomever has passed away. And Anne has a client story to share with you that kind of shows how that worked recently.
Thanks, Mollie. We had a family come in that both grandparents have now passed. And so our client was actually the granddaughter who was tasked with the job of preserving the family photo estate. And that process was overwhelming because Grandma and Grandpa had been in the same house for a very long time. And they had accumulated a lot of photos over the decades. They were married for more than 50 years, and they had immense amount of travel and just stuff. And so this client came in and she brought 4 Rubbermaid tubs, which doesn't sound like that much. However, 2 of the tubs were so loaded with photo albums and so large and so heavy, it took 2 of us to drag them out of her SUV into our building. And it was quite intense just to deal with that. They had right around 100 albums. And we've got some photos of the process that we went through with that, taking it from all of these different albums that were labeled, not always accurately, all right, let's be honest, rarely accurately, and getting the photos into a curated, organized place where they have online access for the 25 cousins across the world, and into their forever account where they can be preserved for now to enjoy with each other, and for future generations to be able to experience that. Sometimes when you're the grandchild or even the child, you have this moment where you think, we're just going to divide it all up and it'll all be fine. And we're so sad to see that happen, because one person ends up with so much of the history. What we also understand is there's a lot of stuff which becomes clutter and becomes a mess, and we also don't want to be the person that ends up with that. For example, you might be the one that has to figure out what to do with this album. This was an actual scrapbook album. Stand it up so you really understand how big it is. And it is really heavy. And I'm sure that when it was, and I've got it backwards because there's names and identifying information on it, but I'm sure when it was presented to this client and they opened it up and they said, wow, that is really cool. What do you do with it? No one wanted to be the one that had to carry this around and move it from house to house. And so by downsizing all of it, curating it, creating a physical collection that you can see in the photos is now very manageable for our client who's also moving herself. We allowed the entire family to have access, and for one person to then decide, all right, we all have access to the pictures. If someone wants a chunk of them, you can have them. So this photo estate, sorry, and it really is that heavy. This photo estate creation was such a joy for us because we knew what we were giving back to the family and what we were providing for them for the future. And that's one of the best parts of our business. And so we've actually moved from just talking about it to making sure that we're creating the guides and the information to make it possible for you. And that's part of what this whole newscast is about, and part of what Mollie's going to talk about next.
So, we've been through a few photo organizing projects, a few transitions over the 7 years that we've been in business, and a while back we thought it might be nice to create a moving guide for your family memories. And I have a copy here. It is available. The link is down below in the comments. And you can also go to our website under the tools section to download it there. But this guide gives 4 steps. One is to prepare. Remember, we talked about putting all of your photos and films and memorabilia, all those types of things in designated boxes that put photo collection or photo estate. Put them all together and be prepared. And you're gathering them. So as you gather things, you're packing your drawers. You're going to find pictures throughout that. You'll find them in file folders. Who knows? Put the pictures, gather them together into those boxes. Then you're going to secure the boxes with tape and they're marked, and if at all possible, transport those boxes yourself. Do not let a moving company transport your memories. In fact, for some of our clients, we have offered to take the boxes during the move and then to create and curate and put together the family photo estate so that it's all organized and ready to be delivered to our client's new home. So what a way to take a load off your shoulders on that, get to your new home and enjoy your family memories. So we have prepare, gather, and move. The last step is enjoy. So if you get to your new home and your boxes are all together in one place, it's a little harder to enjoy all of them, and maybe this will put a little cue in your mind to think, all right, let's do something with those pictures sooner rather than later, because before you know it, 4 or 5 or 10 years will have flown by and you won't have opened those boxes. So download our guide and start thinking about, enjoying the memories. And definitely part of your photo estate is having pictures of the homes you've lived in through the years. If you can tag your pictures with the word home and you click on that tag and you see all of the places you've lived in one click, how convenient is that? So that's our little tip, our download for today, and hopefully that will be helpful for you or someone that you know. Now, as we looked for interesting things from the web, we found a really fun story in this time of social distancing. Can you think of where you could move where social distancing becomes a ton easier like that? Let's hear it.
I bet in all of the ways of downsizing and all the ways of social distancing, very few of you have ever considered moving to a boat. So this article comes to us from the Boat Galley Blog. This family is moving to a boat. Now, you want to talk about anxiety in downsizing. One of the biggest issues that they encountered is, what do we do with our photo albums? They love looking through the old photo albums, and many of us, there's digital frames and there's wonderful ways to scroll through pictures in a digital format, but there's something really special about being able to have those photos in your hands in an album. And so they're trying to figure out what to do, but it's a boat. There are not large bookshelves that can have rows and rows. The boat would probably tilt if I put all my pictures in one spot. So they had to decide what to do to downsize these. And they did kind of what everyone would expect, is they decided they needed to scan them. What they didn't realize is just how much work that is. Many of us have old albums that are sticky, they're that magnetic kind, and you've got those pictures that you took, an entire roll of film on your vacation, but there's no people in there at all. And it was a really overwhelming process. But there are ways for you to do it yourself or to bring it to a professional to have it done for you. And in the end, they were really relieved, because scanning their photos and having it backed up in a cloud storage place meant that they were a lot less nervous about not having the physical books with them. Now, personally, I would have done a highlight book out of all of that, so I still had one book with me that was the highlights of my family memories. But having your pictures protected wherever you end up living is such a blessing. And so whether you're downsizing, upsizing, or just moving to a boat, your photos are what really tells your family story, and it's the reason that we are all about photo estates and the legacy it provides. So think about what you need to do to make sure that your photos and your photo albums are safe. And usually that means having a copy outside your house.
Well, we've covered a lot, and our move is like in about 10 days. We have so much to do. Wish us luck, and we'll be back to give you some updates on our progress. In the meantime, don't forget to look in the comments and description below for the link to download our guide. Also a link for all the tools that we have on our website. And if you're looking for ideas and inspiration, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button so that you're alerted when we have new classes, trainings, and episodes of the Photo Estate News. That's it for now. I'm Mollie Bartelt.
I'm Matuszak. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.